Can you believe the history behind the movie franchise Planet of the Apes? The latest installment of the franchise comes out May 8th, 2024, and there's much excitement around it. In recent years, we have seen a total revitalization of the franchise with new characters, new stars, new stories. The history of the franchise goes back decades and has pivoted and changed over the years. Let's take a deep dive through the history of this iconic franchise. The concept of Planet of the Apes would come out of French author Pierre Boulle. He wrote the book in 1963. The novel tells tale of human explorers who are traveling the universe. They visit a planet that's orbiting the star Betelgeuse, and in this planet they find intelligent and civilized great apes. On the planet, the humans are seen as savage animals. The book would be published by Vanguard Press in the US in June of 1963, and it would reach the UK in 1964. In the US market, the book would be called Planet of the Apes, and in the UK market, the book would be named Monkey Planet. The book from Pierre Boulle would have its rights purchased prior to the release by producer Arthur P. Jacobs. Jacobs believed that the book had potential in the US for a movie. Though there is no official number that Pierre sold it for, it is believed to be very minor, as he did not believe the book would have much success. And there are even reports that he did not even care about the book. 20th Century Fox would partner with Jacobs to produce a film in the early 60s. Production and planning for the film began in 1964 after Jacobs had his successful debut as a producer earlier that year. The original script would be written by the Twilight Zone creator Rod Serling. However, Fox would not end up taking his script as they had several concerns, including the fact that it used too much technology and would require a very large budget. They would take aspects of Serling's script but bring in a new writer, Michael Wilson, who would rewrite and rework it. Most famously, they would still use the plot twist ending that Serling came up with. Throughout the process, Fox had concerns that the film would have challenges due to the cost. Because of this, they would create a test scene for Fox executives to prove that the film could be made in high quality. This would be shown on March 8, 1966 to the Fox team. Due to this, it was proved that the film could have success and that they could use technology and creative makeup work for it to work. The 1968 Planet of the Apes movie would open to great success. It would take elements from the book but also have its own unique changes. The movie starred Charlton Heston, Roddy McDowall, and Linda Harrison. The budget for the film would sit around $5.8 million, and the runtime of the movie would be 112 minutes. The movie would be an instant classic and considered to be one of the best films from the 1960s and the best film in 1968. It was renowned as a cult classic 1960s sci-fi movie. According to Fox, it needed around $13 million to break even. They would make around $21 million in profit. The film would create a brand new world. Fox saw that this could be a springboard for a new series of movies based off of these characters. Needless to say, Fox was seeing dollar signs. The original film would have such great success that Serling would be brought back to create a sequel. However, Serling's sequel outline would be scrapped in favor for a different story created by Mort Abrams and Paul Dini. The story would become a sequel called Beneath the Planet of the Apes. The sequel would have moderate success, but would not capture the same success as that original. The film would be released on May 26, 1970, with a budget of $2.5 million and a box office of $19 million. The film would bring back most of the original cast, including Heston. Heston, however, demanded that he be killed off and did not want to be in the rest of the film series. Heston's parts would only take 8 days to film, and he would be killed off very early. The film had an overall average review and did not impress many experts. But once again, with decent grossing revenues from the box office, Fox decided they would continue with the franchise. In total, there would be 5 films made in the original movie franchise. Each one of those would perform worse than the previous one. The value of the franchise proved that it had legs, but the desire to see these in the theaters would die off. The final of the sequels would be Battle for the Planet of the Apes in 1973. There would be 2 different TV series based off this franchise as well. The 1974 live-action Planet of the Apes would be on CBS, which would be a failure for many. And then there would also be the cartoon version of the Planet of the Apes that would be run in 1975 on the network NBC. The cartoon series would be a cult classic for many kids who grew up in the 1970s. It would have the same style as Johnny Quest because it would be written and created by Doug Wildley. However, the show would only last for 3 months during that year. Even though it performed decently, it did not capture the story and the attention that it desired, thus being canceled, but it would have success many years later on the Sci-Fi Channel and reruns, and have success in Asia. After petering out in the 1970s, the franchise would take a long break. It would not be until 2001 that an attempted reboot of the franchise would begin. Tim Burton would direct this new version, and the version would once again be distributed by Fox, who still owned the rights. The movie would star Mark Wahlberg, Tim Roth, and Helena Bonham Carter. The film would be Fox's big chance to revitalize the franchise, having a budget of $100 million. The film would open with mixed reviews, not having the reaction that Fox was expecting. It was still very profitable, having a box office of $362 million. Prior to the Burton film, there were several different adaptations in the works, including one by Adam Rifkin and one by Peter Jackson. However, it was decided to go with Tim Burton's style as he was having much success with movies like Beetlejuice and The Nightmare Before Christmas. Though the film by Burton had mixed reviews, a lot of people applauded the incredible makeup, technology, and film style that Burton used. It was a true work of Tim Burton, and many people enjoyed the style that it was made in. However, Burton, when asked if he wanted to make a sequel, said that he would rather jump out a window because it was such a difficult work. Once again, it looked like the Planet of the Apes franchise was officially dead. However, 10 years later, they would attempt it once more. In 2011, we would see a modern reboot of the film series. Fox wanted to take another swing at the creation of this iconic franchise. The budget of the first movie would be around $93 million, and it would star James Franco and John Lithgow as two of the big draws for the movie. The film would take on a very different style than the original, but would reboot the entire franchise in a new way. This time, the movie would start off on Earth rather than humans finding an ape-like planet. This film franchise focuses on modern Earth and those living on it. The first movie in the series would have great box office and critical success, with many people discussing how incredible the visual effects were. The film essentially proved that this type of movie could be successful now that technology has caught up with the time. The film would go on to win several awards, finally showing that a reboot of the franchise was in play. This reboot so far has led to 4 films in total, with The Dawn of the Planet of the Apes being the most successful one, with a budget of $170 million, taking home over $710 million from the box office. Overall, this reboot proved that once technology and the times could catch up, Fox could make money. The concept has always been unique and different. I would not be surprised if we saw a Planet of the Apes show in the near future, now that we have all these streaming services out there. It could be a great opportunity for the Disney and Fox Corporation to make a great partnership and develop and create a new Planet of the Apes show on Disney+. What do you think about these movies? Do you enjoy the originals more? Thanks so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts. We appreciate all of you. Believable truths.